G'day ladies and gentlemen, Jacko G-Freak here with another brand new video today for Modern Warfare 3. It is coming and I thought I would let you guys know and refresh your memory of the perk system, including the vests, the gloves, the field upgrades, the weapons that we have at our disposal. Now, please note that this game is obviously in the beta stage. It does come out in a couple weeks' time, but look, hopefully this updates you guys, and I'm sure that there's more perks and guns to come to the game because max level cap was level 30. But let's jump right into it. So first off, we have the Infantry Vest, and it's a new system for the perk system, and equipping different vests doesn't change your character aesthetically, apparently, but it does change the character's abilities of the perk loadouts. You know, you might get more gear, less gear, etc., etc. So first off, we have the Infantry Vest, increases attack sprint duration and reduces refresh time. So that's pretty much lightweight, especially equipped with those extra sneaker boots and whatnot. So moving on to the next one, we have the Engineer Vest. For the Engineer Vest, we have that it allows you to spot enemy equipment, field upgrades, kill streaks through walls, aiming down sights, highlights them for your team, and faster field upgrade recharge, which is handy for search and destroy and whatnot. It allows you to carry an extra tactical, but not a lethal. No lethals, just a tactical. It's also handy in S&D if you got to throw those smokes and field upgrade, you know, field equipment to upgrade your team and play the team game and whatnot. Moving on to the Gunner Vest, we have the Gunner Vest that deploys with max ammo, improved reload speed, so fast hands, and scavenger kind of built into one, like, you know, the pro perk from back in the day. The double effect do not stack. If equipped with mag holster, gain the effects of the mission comlink. So as you can see here, it limits the gear that you can choose. You can only choose 2 gear items instead of 4 or 3. And also the lethal we can actually use as well. I hadn't selected it. Anyway, we have the Demolition Vest. Resupply lethal tactical equipment every 25 seconds. This will be definitely handy in Warzone when that comes out later in the down the track, but it'll be handy for S&D. I guess it's mainly a respawn mode. This one's a run and gun, but there's no real additional changes here when it comes to that vest itself and whatnot. Jumping into the gear, we have the EOD Padding. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Reduces damage from non-killstreak, explosive, and fire. We all pretty much know what EOD is. We've used the perk before in previous titles. Attack Mask reduces strength of enemy flash, stun, and gas grenades. Immunity to shock, EMP, and snapshot grenades. Another one, self-explanatory. Mission Control Comlink reduces kill streak cost by 1 kill. So that's pretty much like a hard line. It also reduces it by 125 as well. So if you're playing that score streak system, if you are one of those people. And moving on, we have Bone Conduction, which reduces combat noise, improved identification of enemy footsteps and gunshots. So that's kind of the counter to covert sneakers that we will show further on in the video. LR Detector, left-right detector, warns of hostile laser and radiation sources. Not really sure. Don't really know if I'll be rocking that one. It's a little bit boring. It doesn't really float me boat. Then we have Ghost Camo as well, which is very handy, and it only works whilst moving. I'm a big fan of that. That gets me very, very firm in the pants. Not very firm for the people that just like to sit in corners and camp and do the worm squirm. But look, moving on. For the boots, we have increased movement and swim speed. So that's handy for Warzone and those maps that have those interactive water patches and whatnot. Reduces noise while swimming as well. Very handy to have if you're a stealthy player making an S&D move. Then we have climbing boots, which is increased climbing and mantling speed. Reduces fall damage. Fantastic. Tim the Tap Man would love that one. Moving on to the next one, which is Stalker Boots. Stalker Boots increase strafe speed and ADS movement. This is pretty much like the Stalker perk, but not as strong. Fourth one, we have our tactical pads. You put those pads around so the stones don't come into your shoe. There's nothing worse than a stone in the shoe. But anyway, increases slide distance and allows for full ADS while sliding. Increased stance transition speeds and crouched movement speed. And then last but not least are the covert sneakers, which are definitely everyone's liking those. They kind of look like a Dunlop volley, like a Converse type of shoe, but pretty much it pretty much removes the sound. You are extremely silent on the map, and it definitely is worth having. So we're gonna jump into the gloves. For the gloves, they're pretty straightforward. We have quick grip gloves, which increase weapon swap speed. Not really needed. Like, who cares? It's changing triangle, YY, like dumb. Anyway, scavenger gloves, resupply ammo, throwing knives, and from dead players. Self-explanatory. And then we have commando gloves. Reload while sprinting. So if you like that run and gun, you can just keep going and going and going and going and going. But with that being said, let's jump into, ladies and gentlemen, the field equipment. So for field equipment, it's a little bit different this year. So we have the trophy. Everyone knows what the trophy is. But then we have the Scrambler. I tried using this in the beta. It didn't really do much. I felt like I was just throwing out the Wi-Fi router and nothing was really happening. I wasn't really on the receiving end of it. And if I was, I didn't really notice it too much. But it disables communication with intel within the radius, eliminates enemies. Enemies will not be able to activate kill streaks. Enemy UAV and intel systems will not. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, now I understand. So you can't activate kill streaks. Kind of weird. Like, it just scrambles. Weird, just walk out of it. But then we have the Medbox. Deploy a box of medical supplies for you and your teammates. I did pop this. It was pretty handy for stim shots and battle rage. That's very handy, especially in Warzone when that comes out as well, when that's released. But additionally, when you pop this med kit, I'm pretty sure it gives you a little bit of extra HP as well, especially if you resupply from it to start with. It could be wrong though. Munitions box, self-explanatory, but the ACS is something a little bit different. The automated computer spike slowly captures points and temporarily hacks nearby enemy devices. Interesting. Very interesting. If you have mines down, claymores, trophy systems, scramblers, anything like that down in the proximity of this bad boy, it's going to be taking over, baby. And it's also capping flags. Like, that's pretty nasty. Pretty nasty right there. But moving on to the tactical equipment, ladies and gentlemen, we have the flashbang, self-explanatory, battle rage. That increases your HP and movement for a little small duration. They nerfed the absolute bejesus out of that after the beta. People were abusing it, especially Shotzi and some other players and whatnot. But we have the EMD grenade, which applies a tracking device to enemy hit, revealing them on your teammate's minimap. So you throw that down and it pretty much scans people. It's like a scan grenade, I guess. But moving on to smoke grenades, everyone knows what a smoke grenade is, and scatter mine. I used these quite a bit for the demolition class that I found in the beta. It was great fun. You throw these down and it kind of lets you know that enemies are around. But also it did a little bit of damage as well. So it throws a field of mines across the wide area, detonated when enemies come across within range. So you chuck it down and then it shoots out all these little cluster of mines, which is quite handy. But now moving on to the kill streaks. So we have the UAV, pretty self-explanatory. Then we have the Mosquito as well, which is pretty much a hunter-killer drone. You throw that up in the air and then it kind of lands down and ruins someone's streaks and they have a bad time and pull their hair out. So with that being said, moving on to the SAM turret. That just takes down enemy air vehicles, so that's self-explanatory as well. We have the Guardian SC, which is a microwave, a bit of the microwave from Black Ops 2. But it's a beam-shaped, non-lethal area directional weapon. Enemies entering the beam have similar effects to a stun grenade, reduced movement. It's very annoying. It's very hazy. I've walked into one. I've put them out as well. They take ages to set up. Not really worth it. But yeah, it'll be good for camping. It'll be good for camping. Counter UAV, self-explanatory. SAE, we know what that is. Remote turret. It's kind of fun when you want to camp and just control the computer system. Juggernaut. It sucked. After using it, you get some armor. It's great. You get a couple of kills, but the movement's so slow with it. The shotgun's terrible. The range on it, and it's absolute dog water. So I do not recommend. Hopefully, there's better streaks coming in, and well, like I said that before, there will be better streaks coming in. But for the assault rifles, for the primary weapons, we're going to jump into those. We have the SVA 545, we have the MTZ 556, and with the MCW, which is pretty much the ACR. Moving on to the battle rifles, we have the MTZ 762, we have the Bass P, which I loved. That was my favorite gun for the beta. It was just fun to use, really fun to use. Moving on to the SMGs, we have the Rival 9, we have the AMR 9, and the Striker, which is the UMP. Great gun. That was kind of the only one that I used. I used the Rival and it kind of stunk. Then we have the shotguns. Moving on to the Riveter and the Lockwood 680. Love the Shockwood. Never really used the Riveter. I don't really have FOMO from not using that bad boy. I don't really care. But with that being said, we're going to move on to the marksman rifles. We have the MTZ Interceptor, MCW 680. And finishing off with the primary weapons, we have the sniper rifles, which we have the longbow and the KV inhibitor. Great gun, very overpowered. That kind of came with a pack where you had to. It's a bit pay to win. Bit pay to win there. You get that gun if you bought the Vault Edition, and you were just slamming kids. Moving on to the handguns, we have the WSP Stinger, which is a little mini Uzi. We have the Renetti, which are ridiculous, and the CQR 45, and just the Pillar launcher. But look, I'm looking forward to it. Very excited with all the weapons. It's going to be unlocking with the previous weapons from Modern Warfare 2. They're going to be carrying over, so you don't lose any of those skins. And additionally to that as well, is that the perk system's great. It's a new overhaul. It's something different. You don't have to wait like 5 minutes for a perk to be unlocked for, like a previous title in Modern Warfare 2. That was just like the weirdest thing that they ever introduced to a COD title. Very strange, very bizarre, but I'm glad that's gone. It's going to be great. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll chat to you guys on the next one. Remember to be safe, stay swollen. As always, boom baby. Peace.